Hello and welcome everybody to another Vintage Cube draft video. I am Paul Cheon, also known as Haumph, and I am doing a team draft. It's a special team draft here with LSV on my team. I've done about 5 of these drafts in the Discord, and this is the first time I've finally been teamed with Luis, just like old times. It should be fun, and let's take a look immediately at this first pack. So, a lot of powerful options here. We have Seasoned Dungeoneer, which is a fantastic white creature with initiative. We have Skyclave Apparition as an option, Force of Negation, Urza, and I think that's basically it. So those are the cards that I'm really looking at. Retrofitter Foundry, Sheldock Isle, Snapcaster Mage are also decent cards, but I think first pick, first pack, Urza, Lord High Artificer is one of the best cards to draft around. It's basically a Tolarian Academy light. So I'm kind of interested in taking the Urza, perhaps the Portal to Phyrexia will table, maybe the Retrofitter Foundry, although it's kind of unlikely, but I'm kind of interested in trying out the artifact strategy here and first picking this Urza here. So now I'm really going to be looking to prioritize artifacts if possible. But of course, early on, you still kind of want to get a good sense for what's available and kind of go from there. So coming into this pack here, we have Chrome Mox, which is a great artifact. A nice way to ramp out the Urza. But then there are some other interesting options. The cards that really stand out to me are both Flash and Sneak Attack. Flash is extremely powerful and a really nice build around as well. There's also Scalding Tarn and Misty Rainforest. But I think out of this pack, if I were to take kind of a mana source, I would go with Chrome Mox. But I'm also kind of looking at this Flash here, and I'm kind of interested in it. Not gonna lie. But I think certainly another fine thing to do here is just take the Chrome Mox and just try to draft around Urza. But I think it's still early enough where I can probably take the Flash here and try to draft around, you know, what's available and kind of take it from there. Going into this pack here, we have Griselbrand. Now, unfortunately, Griselbrand doesn't really work with Flash specifically, so that's not really kind of the card that you want to be taking here. Woodfall Primus, on the other hand, is quite good with Flash. Now, I think the Sneak Attack is probably not going to table. Reanimation type strategies are usually quite contested, so I don't think we can bank on that, but I do think Flash is a more powerful card than Sneak Attack, just because you can destroy your opponent as early as turn 2. It does seem a little bit early to take this Woodfall Primus turn 3, but what else are we taking here? Taking a look at this pack, I mean, there is Griselbrand, and if I wanted to be kind of more of a reanimation strategy, I could take that. I think it's a little bit early to take Talisman of Conviction. There's also a Nettlecyst, so if I want to move in on the artifact strategy, I could take that, but I think that's also worth trying to wait for. Oh, man. You know, I think I'm going to take the Griselbrand and hope to table the Woodfall Primus here. I know it doesn't go with the Flash, but if this is kind of the direction that we're leaning, which is kind of a Flash slash Through the Breach or perhaps some kind of reanimation strategy, Griselbrand is just such a more powerful card to go after. Going into this pack, pretty unexciting pack here. I think I'm just going to take the Badlands here because if I want to play a deck with Griselbrand in it, I likely want to play Badlands. So I'm going to go ahead and probably take that, and nothing else really to consider here. Gonti is a fine mid-range card. There's a cut down for removal, but yeah, let's go ahead and take the Badlands here. Let's take a look here. This is a nice way to just generate artifacts. There is Ashen Rider, which is certainly a nice card to have with Flash, as it basically is a way to exile 2 permanents. It's a 2-card combo. It's not insane, but it's certainly fine. As far as artifacts go, there's also the Talisman of Dominance here. Bone Shards is a nice discard outlet, but I think I might just go ahead and take the Ashen Rider here just to make sure that I have something good to go with the Flash. Now, there's another direction I could have been going in this draft, and that's just the artifact deck. And certainly the case could have been made where I could have just pushed the artifact deck, but if we see some artifacts later, maybe we can still kind of end up in that seat here. But we have the 2 big cards here, we have the Flash, and then we also have an Urza if some more artifacts come around. Here, we don't have too much. Unearth is not exactly what you want in this style of deck, but look, if we want to draft the artifacts deck, well, Upheaval can be very good. And I know we're kind of waffling back and forth, but you know, cards like Urza, Lord High Artificer are perfectly fine to play just by itself in a lot of instances. So I'm just going to take the Upheaval here in case we do end up in kind of more of an artifact-based strategy. All right, here we have a Goryo's Vengeance, and I think I'm kind of interested in this. There's a Dovin's Veto, a Consider, but I think Goryo's Vengeance is kind of where we want to be. It's certainly a really, really nice card to have with that Griselbrand. Doesn't work that well with the Ashen Rider because it's not a sacrifice effect, that's an exile, but still happy to have here and try to push kind of this somewhat reanimation style deck here. See if we can get there. Moving on here, nothing for a reanimation deck, nothing really for an artifact deck either. There's a Blightsteel Colossus if I get something like a Tinker. I could play Fallen Shinobi in some world. And I'm not a huge fan of Blightsteel Colossus in general. Even if I get something like a Tinker, I'd rather have the Portal to Phyrexia. Think I'm just going to kind of take the more mid-range card here in the Fallen Shinobi in case the things don't go exactly the way that we want. Okay, so this is interesting. This pack, I believe, no, this pack did not have the sneak attack, or maybe it did. It might have been the one after. But here, I'm just going to take a Force of Negation. That Portal to Phyrexia did table, but we don't have a Tinker. And we don't have any mana acceleration yet, and Force of Negation is going to be a welcome addition in this potential flash deck that we're trying to draft. So the sneak attack did not table, so that is something to be mindful of. But we do have a flash and a Goryo's Vengeance. There's a Basalt Monolith here, and we do have an Urza and an Upheaval, so I think I'm going to go with that just in case. And there are some instances where potentially I could just hardcast cards like the Griselbrand. Thought Monitor is good in a really artifact-centric deck, but I'm going to just take the Basalt Monolith here. Moving on here, I think I'm going to go with the Talisman of Conviction here over the Phantasmal Image. Phantasmal Image is fine, but again, I'm kind of going back and forth just a little bit, just in case we kind of end up here instead of here, given the fact that we didn't table the sneak attack. All right, that's a late Hallowed Fountain. We'll be happy to take that if we can potentially splash some cards. We are pretty far away from Chandra. So I think I'm going to take this, and then we'll take an Ephemerate here into the sideboard. And oh, that's a Last Pig Resto Angel. Okay. All right, so we have some semblance of direction here. The Eldrazi didn't table. That certainly went to the player that took the sneak attack, so that's something to be mindful of. And then taking a look at what we have here, not too much, honestly, for kind of a reanimation deck. There is not that much. Worldspine Worm is certainly better with sneak attack. It's also something that you could flash in. Oh, also the Woodfall Primus didn't table. So again, those are some things to be mindful of. Are we willing to fight somebody for that archetype, or should we try to pivot out of this Flash Goryo's Vengeance strategy and go maybe into artifacts if that's still possible? Show and Tell certainly going to go to the Emrakul deck or the Eldrazi deck. Worldspine Worm is okay. But again, I think I'm going to take a pick here that probably hedges a little bit. And that basically means I'm going to take the Sensei's Divining Top. It's good in the artifact deck, and it's still something that's fine if you have some number of fetches. So this kind of goes well in both strategies. Here we have Library. I am a big fan of the Library. There's also a Time Twister. Time Twister is good in kind of Urza-style decks. There's a Persist as kind of a reanimation spell, but it doesn't get the Griselbrand, which is the card I really want to get. So I think this is a little bit early for Persist. I can also take a Duress, which is just a really good hand disruption spell to play in any deck. But I think Library is probably just a little bit too powerful to pass here. And again, it's a type of card that's going to be good in any deck that I draft. So I think I'm going to take the Library over the Twister or the Duress. But I can certainly see the case for taking the other two. Okay, so this is nice. There is a Mystic Forge in this pack, but I think it's going to table, because if nobody else is the artifact deck, this is a really, really nice combination with Sensei's Divining Top. So I think I can just keep an eye out for that. Underground Sea is fantastic, but Polluted Delta is incredible. There is a Coalition Relic, which is fine, and then there's also Through the Breach. And I do have Ashen Rider and Griselbrand, but I'm getting kind of close to possibly just jumping ship here. Oh, this is tough because it's, do I want really fantastic mana? Or do I want to just take the Through the Breach because I still do have this Gristlebrand and I kind of am interested in trying to make it work. All right, we're moving out of it, folks. Executive decisions have been made. We are moving this here. And we're gonna shift back here. Maybe this is a train wreck, but I'm gonna take the Demonic Tutor here. Frantic Search is also great if you're trying to do the reanimation thing, but I think DT is this is a pretty late DT and I'm very happy for it. All right, and now we're moving into perhaps some kind of a blue-black artifact strategy. So pretty happy to take a Baleful Strix here. Put this Talisman back in and see if we can draft the artifact deck. Now we didn't have the Tinker. Now keep in mind we did pass that Portal to Phyrexia late, but that card is just okay if you can't Tinker into it. But I want to try to take advantage of this Urza here. So I'm going to take the Strix. Sauron's Ransom is also quite good, but I'm really interested in trying to maximize on my artifact count in this blue-black deck. All right, so we have Mishra's Workshop. That's a late Birds of Paradise, but we have Mishra's Workshop, which could potentially be really good. And then there's also Creeping Tar Pit for mana concerns. Do I just take the Workshop here just because I might want to potentially open myself up for some ridiculously broken starts? Although I do love me a Tar Pit, man. And we don't have that many artifacts yet. I changed my mind. Going for that buttery smooth mana, as Mike Sigris would say. I'm going to take Counterspell here. There's also Daretti. Thief of Sanity is fine. Thopter Foundry is good with Sword of the Meek, but Counterspell is a welcome addition in any deck. That's playing blue. And there's the Sword of the Meek. Why do you do this to me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could get it last pick. But I think I'm just going to take the Triplicate Titan here. I suppose this is still a possibility. I can't rule this out. So I'm going to take the Triplicate Titan here, even though we just passed Thopter Sword. And here we have Pentat Prism or Show and Tell, and I'm going to go ahead and take the Prism here. And then we have Watery Grave, which is fantastic in our blue-black deck, and we also have the Polluted Delta. Dictor Time is fine, but I think I'm just going to take the Watery Grave here just to make our mana incredible. And then here we'll take the Relic. So getting a lot of the artifacts. So this is turning into potentially a pretty good Upheaval deck. I don't know when we should have expected the Mystic Forge, but I really wanted to see it with the top. It's normally a card that you don't see taken very, very highly, but I don't see it. Which makes me sad. I wonder if somebody took it, anticipating the top to table. This gives us potentially a free green source, so I'll take that. So where are we right now? It looks like we're kind of a fair-ish blue-black deck, but on the side here, we do have Flash, Goryo's Vengeance, Triplicate Titan, Ashen Rider, and Gristlebrand. But we're kind of fighting somebody for those types of cards. So I think we're in an okay spot here, but I do need to find kind of a few more ways to probably try to win the game. And we're probably a little bit light in playables here. We have 13 right now, which is okay. We have decent mana. We did pass the Workshop, but I'm pretty happy with the Creeping Tar Pit. We do have right now Counterspell and Gaunty. So that's a little bit tough on the mana. Triplicate Titan is certainly a card we can play. There's also a Daretti. We have 2 red sources and a Pentat Prism and a red-white Talisman. So the Daretti is something that we could perhaps use to get Triplicate Titan in play. But here we have Vampiric Tutor, which is a card that's interesting if you're looking to do something extremely powerful, very broken. I'm not entirely sure I'm vamping for something absurd. I suppose I could be vamping for Flash, but then what am I doing? I'm putting a Triplicate Titan into play and putting 2 3/3s in play? But at the same time, what are my other options here? There's a Fire Covenant, which is just kind of a nice removal spell to have. There is Chromatic Star, Mind Stone as other artifacts. There's a Hymn to Turok, which is also just a good card to play. So perhaps I just take that just as a generically good black spell, because if we're not doing anything broken, we need to be able to disrupt what our opponents are trying to do. So I think I'm just going to take the him here and settle in on kind of a blue-black control deck here. Here we have Thoughtseize versus Miscalculation. There's a Threat Dynamo that hopefully tables, but I think Thoughtseize is just too good of a card to pass up on. So we'll go ahead and take that. Attack with Urza, Ninjutsu and Fallen Shinobi. Ooh, or Gonti? Yeah, or Baleful Strix? Look at all that value. Yeah, I mean, there is a world where Flash is still somewhat playable, depending on which of these big creatures I want to put in my deck. The problem is, for the Goryo's Vengeance, I don't have a whole lot of discard outlets, so it's not that great. There is a Daretti here. We did pass that Frantic Search earlier. Something to be mindful of. All right, here we have Force of Will and Remand as the cards that I'm looking at. Fractured Identity is a powerful card that we can potentially splash, but when there's two on-color cards that are on par in power level, I'm just going to go ahead and take it. So I think, again, I'm going to just go with the Force of Will here, have maximum disruption to try to stop anything crazy that my opponents are trying to do. One thing that I really need to be looking out for, though, is a form of card advantage. I have Force of Negation and Force of Will, but I don't have, for example, Planeswalkers or ways to draw a lot of cards. So that's something that I want to keep an eye out for. Ooh, that's a late Othari and a Mother of Runes. Is Sandy Dog nearby? All right, well, there's Sandy Dog. And hope, you know, the nice thing about this is because Sandy Dog is somebody who's known for drafting aggressive decks 80% of the time. The nice thing to know is that Mac can't de-draft both of these cards. So Sandy will get one of them, and they're both great. Here we have the choice between Narset and Psy Master Thopterist. I don't know that anybody else has artifacts, and we're not going too crazy with the artifacts, so I'm going to take the card that's just going to be good in anybody's deck. There's also Shallow Grave here in Narset, and then hope to table the Psy potentially, or one of the artifacts. But I'm going to take the Narset here. This is a form of card advantage, so I'm very happy to have that in my deck. Here, I'm not going to take the Dark Slick Shores. I'm definitely taking a spell, because, again, I'm going to be a little bit short on playables. The question here is, do I want something like a Necromancy, which, again, I don't have any ways to put things into my graveyard, so I don't think it's going to be the ideal card here. Or just a simple card like Night's Whisper as just a way to draw cards. There is Unmarked Grave. It allows me to put a non-legendary card in my graveyard, and then what happens? I Goryo's Vengeance it in. It doesn't seem especially powerful. So for me, I think it's between the Fairy Mastermind and the Night's Whisper, and I think I'm more interested in the card draw spell here, especially with the Force and Force of Negation and Force of Will. I just need to find ways to draw some cards. Bolas of Citadel, a nice form of card advantage. It is very painful. I could also take Ancient Tomb just to try to ramp if I'm going to try to be an Upheaval deck, and I think that's what I'm going to take. There's Arcane Denial, but I think this is not ideal if you're drafting a control deck. There's also Natali, but again, I think we're just kind of just off this here. I found that the Reanimator strategies typically don't work out as well, although it seems like we are getting a lot of the cards when people are fighting over it. Here, I think I'm going to go with the Memory Jar. It's nice to have at least one draw 7 effect, especially we have some mana ramp, and then we do have the Narset here, which is quite good with the Memory Jar. It means that if our opponents have a lot of mana up, they can't do anything with it. Okay, and then nothing much here. I think I'm just kind of need a win condition, so I'm just going to take this Grave Titan as just cast it the fair way. And then here I'll be happy to take a Mind Stone over Ophiomancer. And then there's the Thran Dynamo. So that's a Prismari command, but that would be on the splash. Thieving Skydiver is also okay. But I think I want to just go ahead and take the Thran Dynamo so that I can try to maximize on Memory Jar and also use potentially Upheaval as my win condition. Ooh, Collective Brutality or Stern Scolding. It's interesting. I don't really care to discard anything, but this is just kind of more of a proactive discard effect. Although we're kind of light on blue cards, so I think I'm just going to take the Stern Scolding as a solid early interactive spell and also something that I could potentially pitch to one of my forces. So let's see, decide to not table. So there's also another artifact deck, probably. Let's take another talisman here. Don't think we're going to be endurancing, so we'll just take an FTK, although we can't play it. There's a Bolus of Citadel. Maybe we can play it. It is good with Sensei Divining Top. So perhaps I can convince my teammates to allow me to play the Citadel in my deck. And there's a Last Pick Zerda. So this is the deck that we have laid out. 10 blue, 8 black, and then we have, of course, Pentad Prism and the Coalition Relic. I think I'm just going to go with a Gonti here. Probably just going to do that, and this is a black talisman, so I'll just cut a swamp, and then we'll just rock it like this. Okay, welcome to round 1. Play first. See what we get. I think part of the problem, though, with the deck was just that I kind of went back and forth a lot, and that kind of ultimately led to us not having exactly what we wanted. We're on the play. We can't cast any of our spells, but we do have a bunch of counter spells. And then we have a Gonti if we draw a black source. So what happens, though, if we draw a blue source? We just don't do anything. So I think I'm going to mulligan this hand, unfortunately, just because there is just a lack of action. I'm going to keep this. Let's bottom the Stern Scolding. Done. As we do have a counterspell for early interaction. And I kind of want to keep this flash. If we find a Demonic Tutor, we can just go ahead and find our Triplicate Titan. Turn 1 Soul Ring. Okay. Very powerful. Okay, so that's an Urza. Need a land here to play Coalition Relic. And what is this? 3 mana? This is a Dark Confidant. I'm going to counter the Dark Confidant. I don't have any real way to deal with it right now in my hand. Do you have another play? No. Good. So at least they didn't maximize on the Soul Ring this turn. All right, Watery Grave is awesome, as it allows us to play the Coalition Relic. And now we have this flash. But I'm interested in your thoughts too. What do you all think about the flash? Should I play it? And if I am, should I be looking to play the Ashen Rider as well? I kind of want to, but if Louis says something, I probably shouldn't argue, right? All right, so I can either get Gonti or Urza. Urza would put a 2/2 into play. I kind of like the Gonti here. Just see if I can steal something awesome. Look at the cards. All right, so I can either take an Infernal Grasp or Angrat's Rampage. I'm gonna just go ahead and choose the Infernal Grasp so that I can just kill whatever I need. Then we'll play this land and we'll pass. All right, so Infernal Grasp is a card we can cast, so we'll put it right here. Casting an Upheaval against a Soul Ring deck, probably not the best. But they've caught, I mean, if you're playing Dark Confidant, probably kind of a low curve, mid-range deck. Perhaps a lot of disruption, we'll see. Okay, that was unexpected. I think we're just going to go ahead and kill the Dark Confidant. They missed a land drop, so I think this nets us more mana than tapping the Relic. I wonder if Fallen Shinobi is good here. Just thinking about what I want to do after sideboard. Probably just maybe the Ashen Rider if that's something that I want to do. Oh, okay. Well, that gives us protection. That allows us to save the Urza if they have a removal spell for it. And then, I mean, given that we have nothing else left, I think my plan is just to spin Urza and use the second ability of shuffling my library and exiling the top card and trying to hit some goodies. Get a 2/2 construct. Gonna leave the Gonti back to block, most likely. Actually, Urza can just block here. We're good. Yeah, it turns out the other person drafting artifacts was Luis. So that's where the Sai went. That's where the Mystic Forge went, unfortunately. What just happened? Oh, see, I wasn't even paying attention. Well, now they have a Lurrus deck, so that's cool. But they can't cast it yet. All right. Relic. Oh, hello. Don't mind if I do. Okay. That allows them to get stuff back with the Lurrus. I think I'm just going to play the jar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that gives us access to 4 mana. Oof, that's really close. Oh, is there a way I can... I mean, that's kind of risky, but I'm wondering if there's a way I can... Can I go... Next turn, can I go Flash, in response, Jar, and try to hit a big creature? That's something that we can explore. But anyways, I'm going to just maximize on my mana and go for the Memory Jar next turn. Right now, just keep this up as a Force of Will target. Don't really have great attacks, so I'm going to pass. And this Hangerback Walker, getting pretty large. We're playing blue-black, not a lot of exile removal. Do I have any bounce? Can't think of them. All right. So again, we can't use Urza's ability, so let's just tap the Relic for a mana, and then use the jar. Oh, hello! I think I can wait on the Upheaval. I think I can wait on the Upheaval. I think I can get a better Upheaval after I jar and try to find a bunch of mana rocks. So I think the Flash play is fancy, but I think I'd rather just have that to force on the following turn. So I'm going to jar here. I don't know that there's too much they can do. So let's go for that. All right. So a lot of different options here. Certainly playing the land. And we have access to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana this turn, potentially. Well, Sensei's Divining Top is nice because it just replaces itself for mana, in terms of mana, with the Urza that we have. So now the question is, do we want to go something like Narset? Do we want to just play Narset this turn, or do we want to just play Grave Titan? I think the answer is just play Grave Titan. So let's just go ahead and play out the Monolith here as well. And then can we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This doesn't untap, so unfortunately I can't tap everything else to play the Grave Titan and not keep this tapped. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 mana. Right? So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have access to 8 mana. That's a bit of a shame, as we are super close to playing both the Grave Titan and the Narset. But anyways, let's just go ahead and go black, black, black. I want to be able to tap this, so let's tap the top, I guess. Just to be able to keep this creature back, just so I prevent taking 1,000,000 damage. Then let's play Grave Titan. All right, that should be pretty good. And then we pass. Are they really doing nothing with this jar? That would be awesome. Okay. They discarded stuff. Not much. They actually discarded not much. I mean, they are a Lurrus deck, so everything's going to be quite cheap. And at this point, I mean, we might not even need Upheaval, to be honest. We've got a Grave Titan here. And lots of things to attack with. And I can set up for a very large Upheaval by untapping the Monolith. And then, so like, if my opponent finds a way to stabilize off of what we have here, we can then play a big Upheaval and just kind of replay all of our artifacts and potentially even the Urza. Maybe I'm overestimating how much mana I have. 3, 4, 5, potentially 2 here, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12 mana. Okay, so they're killing my Construct and dealing 2 damage to Grave Titan. And I think this tells me that most likely they're going to go for a Dismember here. This tells me that they're likely going to go for a Dismember here. So do I let this happen and make them cast a Dismember? Probably. But I do want to keep the Grave Titan in play. So I think I'm going to go ahead and force the Dismember after they use it. Yep. Don't think they have a great attack. All right. Let's put a charge counter here, and we can start getting to attacking here. I don't think I need to top just because I have the Knight's Whisper here, so let's just actually go ahead and fire that off. Okay, Thran Dynamo, that is great. This is setting us up super nicely for a potentially large Upheaval turn. So let's go ahead and play that. That basically allows us to untap the Monolith. Now, I might not be that interested in trading the Grave Titan for the Hangerback Walker and having them make 1,000,000 tokens. So I think I can just wait and set up just for an Upheaval. That seems like the thing I want to do here. So let's just pass and just play it patiently here. I just don't see them coming back after we cast an Upheaval and just playing all of our spells. But we'll see. Now, if they Thoughtseize me, obviously everything changes. Then we start thinking about activating Urza and looking at a bunch of things. But right now, we're okay. So the Ren and 6 plus Silent Clearing is a nice little combo. It's a way to kind of grind me out, draw extra cards every turn, but not something we're super concerned about right now. They have Lurrus in play. That's fine. Outland Liberator, okay. All right, but they can't use it this turn. So yeah, this is going to be a real nice Upheaval. Let's untap this. Let's put a charge counter here. Let's activate the top. Okay, doesn't matter. All right. Big turn, very exciting. Blue, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's tap that a little bit better. Let's add black, blue. Blue. Upheaval. Think this is going to be a pretty good Upheaval here, folks. So okay, let's just be super mindful of what we can do. I think Grave Titan might be the best thing to do, but we just got to be careful here. We have access to 7, 8, 9, 10 mana, potentially. If we play the Urza, or I can play Thran Dynamo. Yeah, I kind of want to make sure I play the Dynamo here. So then I can do this. And then I can play the Urza, 2, 4. Okay. That gives me 4 mana. That'll give me 4 mana, but the construct will give me a mana. So that'll give me 5, and then I can still play Gonti. Let's play top. Let's play Urza. Let's play Island. Let's tap this for blue. Tap this for blue. Play this. Play Great Titan. All right. I approve of that turn. Do you approve of that turn? I don't think it was bad. Seemed above average. And that is the artifact deck. This is what you can do. Now, where's my academy? All right. Took that one down. They're going to be playing kind of a slightly more aggressive strategy. So that is something to be mindful of. Now, what do we have as kind of options here? I think Flash is nice. They don't really have a way to stop it. Force of Negation might not be that great. It doesn't look like they're doing anything broken. So if it's not your turn, exile blue card. But it still gives me some ways to interact with what they're trying to do. I think Stern Scolding is fantastic. So the real question is whether or not I want to play the Ashen Rider as just like something to flash in. But I think I'm just going to keep it the way it is, honestly. I think we can either use the Flash as something to pitch, or I have the Triplicate Titan. All right, game 2. Let's look at the Lurrus this time. It's there. I'm going to keep this very nice hand. Now with the tutor, it makes it so that if I draw the large creature or the Flash, I can just get the missing piece. All right. Oh, this is really rough because I don't want my opponent to play Dark Confidant, but man, if I play the Stotsies, I just do nothing next turn. I guess I could just draw a blue source. But I think it's probably just too important to slow down what they can do on turn 2. So let's see. What card am I most concerned about? Now, they can get a lot of these cards back. Outland Liberator seems best. The Wrenn and 6 doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot here. Just pings me for 1. Yeah, so I will take the Outland Liberator. Now let's take a look at their hand this way. They have a bit of a slow hand, which is nice for us. Lurrus like that. Untap land? That is not an untapped land. But it is Force of Will. So if they play something too strong, I can deal with it. I don't think I care about countering the Wrenn and 6 though. Okay, so they just put Lurrus in their hand, and I probably should have left it here, but let's just all pretend that they have a Lurrus in their hand. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a thing. So as I wanted to Knight's Whisper, but I'm now just going to Demonic Tutor for the Triplicate Titan. And put 3 3/3s in play. That should buy us infinite time. And that also gives us a way to kill the Wrenn and 6. Stern Scolding, also quite nice against Lurrus. I mean, if they just run out the Lurrus, which I doubt, do we just force? Let me just double check on this one. Put target creature card from a graveyard You target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control with a corpse counter on it. You take the initiative. So they can cast this potentially next turn. They get to bobble this turn. If they get the initiative, we can take it back. But they get value this way because they can go Lurrus, bobble me, and then bobble me again. So that's like 2 cards. I'm just going to force this. And hope they don't have an untapped land here. All right, that's good. We're just going to flash into Titan here. Like I said, if they take the initiative, we can take it back because they're going to cast the Lurrus here, or they're going to put the Lurrus in most likely with the from the Catacombs. Yeah. All right. And that we can't do anything about. They get a land. They get a forest. From the Catacombs is gone. They get that. They get a corpse counter. Okay. All right. Flash. Doesn't put a haste creature into play, right? Okay. Ooh, him to Turok. That's certainly interesting. But they do have the Lurrus in play. So I'm going to take the initiative back. That will give me a land. Then I can play Thran Dynamo, or I can go with the him and maybe take something great out of their hand. But again, they have the Outland Liberator too. Maybe I should be looking for something with the Night's Whisper. All right, well, certainly the Flying and Vigilance will attack. The question is, do I attack with the Trample creature? Because if I attack this way, the thing is I want to be able to block the Lurrus, so I'll keep 2 creatures back. And I value the flyer more, so I want to attack with that one. All right. Okay. Let's get a swamp. Yeah, I don't have any big mana things, so let's just go ahead and play the Night's Whisper. And ooh. Well, they also have Wrenn and 6, so they can play Wrenn and 6, Dismember, and Outland Liberator next turn. Oof. All right, so let's just try to hit that Dismember. Again, not at its best against a Lurrus deck. But we got the Wrenn and 6 and they had an Infernal Grasp as well. Jeez, okay. Yeah, fantastic Lurrus deck. Wish we had a Soul Guide Lantern or some way to interact with their graveyard. We don't have a lot of spot removal either, so it's kind of hard to stop the Lurrus. They are at 14, so let's see. Yeah, they can go Dismember. Oh, geez, they can go Dismember, Bloodthirsty Adversary, Dismember. Maybe I should have just attacked with the Golem token. Yeah, this is bad. They can just kill everything. Is it Upheaval time? Yeah, and they're going to take the initiative back here. I mean, we'll also get it back, but it's going to go back and forth, right? So they're going to cast Dismember here, kill my Golem, attack me for 6, put me down to 9. They'll go up to 13. They're getting the initiative. And we have a Baleful Strix that's going to need to miraculously draw us the perfect card, whatever that might be. Yeah, this Lurrus is going to town. So now they put, what, 2 counters on Lurrus? Oh, Scry, okay. They just want to find a little more interaction. I might be, like if I draw an Upheaval, that would be cool. Kind of restart all of these shenanigans, but they do have a Soul Ring, and we don't have as powerful of a follow-up, even if we did draw an Upheaval, so. Just need to make sure we're not just dead. But I think we basically know of all the cards that they could have. Now, do we attack? We don't die. So there's that, right? Because they can't deal 5 damage. I'm surprised they didn't Forge, because we're at 9. And then if they Forge, that they could potentially take the initiative back and trap us. But I guess they really cared about their draws. So I can't Thran Dynamo into Strix. So I think I just have to Strix here. That library does nothing. I could have attacked first, but I kind of want to just keep everything back. But then they just get the initiative again, right? And they can goad me. But I think that's okay. I think I kind of just want to minimize the damage that I take. And the Lurrus won't attack me then? Now, they can play Wrenn and 6 and kill the Baleful Strix, but by doing this, I mean, I can now use the Golem to attack to block the adversary, which is which is also not great. All right, so Baleful Strix down. We're doing some damage control here, folks. Oh, unless they found another removal spell off the Scry 2, that would be bad. Okay, they did. Okay. Yeah, I mean, but that's what this deck's trying to do. That's what Lurrus decks do. You have a lot of cheap interaction, and then Lurrus, and then like a bunch of spells to maybe even try to get back the Lurrus. So I like the way that they built their deck. Ashen Rider does seem like it would be good in this matchup. Just like so many things to exile, especially if I can exile the Lurrus. And I think Force of Negation is still fine because they have a lot of spells. But at this point, it's kind of Upheaval or bust, I think. And that's a Force of Negation. All right, so game 3 it is. And yeah, I think I'm pretty happy just running it back. I'll keep that. Keep up Stern Scolding. Wow. They have a Mox and a Soul Ring. Not cool, friend. Not cool. I think I'm just interested in ramping here. Do I have something big? Ooh. 3, 6, 7, 8. 3, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Let's find a counterspell here, maybe. Nope. But we can play a Prism. All right. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So we're kind of all in on that, but we have, I guess, a plan, which is just Basalt Monolith into Triplicate Titan. Don't think that's going to be enough, but they just got Lurrus back. Oh, that's also extremely interesting. Do I want to go for Jar here, or just try to get them with the trip? The thing is, Triplicate Titan seems really good because I didn't see that many exile removal spells. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. We'll do this. We'll do Triplicate Titan first and then go for Memory Jar after. So they're going to go Lurrus Bob this turn, which is quite good. And we're just going to try to tighten them out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's take a look here. They have Unearth. Yeah, so a lot of redundancy here. Unearth, fantastic with Lurrus. And we don't have any removal. So it's more like, all right, do your worst with Lurrus. I'm going to just have to power through it and get you with bigger mana and bigger plays. Yep. Yep. All right, that's not too bad, honestly. I mean, they have 4 cards in hand. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's bad. Okay, all right, so that's bad. Flying Vigilance Trample. Okay, okay. We are on Operation Memory Jar. We'll do that one then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think, honestly, I'm probably going to try to set up for an Upheaval turn. Oof. Is this end of turn? Yeah. Like, I kind of just have to hope that they don't have a way to kill the Memory Jar. But what I want to do this turn is play Memory Jar and then untap the Basalt Monolith to give me the absolute maximum amount of mana. Let's play Jar and pass. If they kill it, then we're just basically dead. But I think that gives us the best hope. Because again, our deck is pretty light on removal. And man, this thing is giving me the beatdowns. Okay. And the thing is, even after we Upheaval, it's not clear that we're even ahead at all. I think we're just going to block the Triplicate Titan here. Minimize the damage that we take. And then go for the Jar next turn. They're probably just attacking with the Titan. Hitting me for 12. Chump block. Four cards. What do you have? Unearth. Evolve Sleeper. All right. This is the Memory Jar here, folks. Oh, am I dead? Am I dead? No, I can't be dead. These are the other 2 cards in their hand. I say this now as they cast Fiery Confluence, right? Okay, Ren in 6. Am I not dead yet? Not dead yet. Are they going to deal 1 to me? So this, it costs me 1 mana, but it nets me 2. All right. They are playing everything. They are playing everything. They just have an Unearth in hand. All right, end of turn. Untap the monolith. Oh! So, okay. All right, so we're not jarring here, folks. Blue. Look, we might still be dead, but this is still cool. All right, we have the upheaval here. Okay. I want to take the initiative back, so I do want to play this Baleful Strix. So what can I do? I can do Baleful Strix. Or do I want to just put a bunch of mana in play? This is a big turn. Maybe it's not initiative. No, I'll play Baleful Strix. All right. I don't even think this is enough. I don't even think this is enough, but especially because they have Soul Ring Mox, but it gives us a fighting chance. We're now set up here where if we draw Grave Titan. Oh, what am I saying? They have the initiative. Never mind. I got excited for no reason. All right, let's go to the next round. Okay, well, I gotta shake that one off, as that was an absolute beating. Initiative got us, folks. All that time, I'm just like, you know what? I think I'm coming back here. We got this. It's like, no, we definitely do not got this. Just gonna keep up Counterspell here. It looks like they're playing some kind of aggressive strategy. So I just need to minimize whatever they can play here on turn 3. Literally countering anything here. I kind of want to hymn them, but it would make me use a counter. No, that doesn't even work. Never mind. Well, it would make me use both counters off of a Pentad Prism, and that seems kind of rough. So I wonder if it's better to just run Night's Whisper out here to just try to naturally find a black source. All right. Ooh, that was also a great draw. Now I'm really hoping they play something that gets hit by the Stern Scolding. Hopefully it's not a Planeswalker here on turn 4, which is often the case. Oh, okay. So yeah, I can't really afford, like, if I'm gonna hymn them, I can't really afford to play anything else. Fiery Confluence and a Get Lost. I think I still want to keep up Stern Scolding. Hopefully we can Scolding something next turn. Confluence is incredible against us, by the way. Gotta stay hydrated, folks. And yeah, let's go ahead and Gonti them. What do we got? Ooh. Wandering Emperor is something I'm very interested in. All right, so they don't know that it's Wandering Emperor, so that's big. A Braid, okay. The Selfless Spirit, going all the way. Upheaval not at its grade against kind of aggressive strategies, but still can cast it if necessary. Okay, that's a Pearl. Okay, so I can play the Wandering Emperor and keep up Stern Scolding. I think I want to play this Mind Stone. I don't think I'm... And they have a Mox Pearl. Like, I don't think Upheaval does too much just yet. The thing is, do I want to use this to just kill the Selfless Spirit? No. No, I want to use it to kill Athari. So it just makes it indestructible, and this exiles. Let's make this attacking first. And then let's do this. Exile this. Take 4. Ooh, that's a nice one. So we can go Prism, play Urza, and probably, you know, honestly, probably the correct thing to do is just make a creature because they have a Selfless Spirit in play. So you did some good work, Wandering Emperor. I'm not mad at you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. So I can actually use the Urza this turn. I wonder if I want to do that. So like, is that greedy? You may play that card without paying its cost. So it's like 1. No, because this still stays in play. So 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then use 1 here. And then I can still use that for... So let's tap and untap, add blue. Goodness, hold on. Ooh. We'll take that Narset, thank you very much. I will take Force of Will, thank you very much. All right. That was good. Getting a lot of value here, and we do have the Force of Will. Twin Shot Sniper, what do you do? 2 damage to any target. So I suppose it's going to target the Narset, but I think that's fine. It can kill the Samurai token, but again, that's also fine. So yeah, I'm okay. This is just going to hit the Narset. I'd rather keep the Force of Will for something else, to be honest. Oh, okay, they're just going to the face. Got it. Okay. All right, we might be in a situation here now where we choose to go for Upheaval. We have access to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. Then we go to then we play land. So 10 mana, cast Upheaval, go to 4 mana, replay Urza, then a land. Okay, yeah. See what we get with Narset. Oh, a Memory Jar. Okay. Don't think that's what we want to do this turn. I can play the top and attack with the Construct, but I think I just want all the mana. So let's just go ahead and add blue, add blue, add black, add black. We don't have any black cards. I should just add blue. All right, and then we play Upheaval. Now this can be channeled for 2 damage, so I do have to be really careful. All right. I do want to play Urza. I do have Force of Will, so that's good. I can play the top. Then I'll play out, I can play out a land too. Let's just play out an island untapped. And then maybe do this. No. Let's play Urza. All right. Add blue. Then we can play Mind Stone. That gives me access to 2 mana? All right, I didn't play the Prism here. Maybe I should have. But this is where we're at. One, two, three. We have double black cards and double blue cards. Yeah, we can still pitch the small. So they can go Selfless Spirit, and we can go Stern Scolding. I think I definitely could have sequenced that better. Probably. Tap an untapped artifact you control. Blue. Stern Scolding. And we can top here. All right, that's a Basalt Monolith. Probably interested in Narset, although I kind of want to keep Force up. So maybe it's just generate a bunch of mana. And then I can tap these 3 for Basalt Monolith. I can also play Jar. No, but I don't want to use the mana from the Pentat Prism. 1, 2, 3. If I play the Basalt Monolith, that gives me just like a lot of mana to try to set up a Jar. Jar Narset is obviously quite strong. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do this and just attack. Maybe play around a haste creature. Like I can still top here. Flicker Wisp on the token, and it flies. That's the big thing. The fact that it flies. So I think I'm going to force this, and I'm just going to hard cast it. So let's go add blue, colorless, blue, cast Force of Will. All right, so now the shields are down for sure. So let's go ahead and play Narset here. Try to find something. Activate. And a miss. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Okay. And so now let's go with this. Let's attack for 5. Yeah, now if they have some way to burn us or something, we're dead. But I think it was important to keep this construct in play to pressure our opponent's life total, and also not have them have a flyer in play, which just kills us. And again, our deck doesn't have that much removal. Oof. So they have the channeled spell. I could jar Narset. That seems decent, but they have the channel spell, so I don't think I want to use the Narset. So what about if I go 3 blue, blue, jar. And what if I activate it? So here it says each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn, so they'll find 1 card here off the jar, and we'll find 7. Didn't play my land drop for the turn. Okay, Force of Negation is gigantic. And we have a flash that we can DT for. So, wow, yeah, this was incredible. Now the question is, do we have enough to kill them? So this is 5, 6, 7, 8. If I Demonic Tutor for flash, that's... Excuse me, if I Demonic Tutor, that gives me 3 more artifacts. That makes the construct an 8/8. So do I... The question is if I have the mana. So... Oh, man, this is close. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana in play. I can play Talisman, land. So I have 3, 4 mana, Talisman. If I Ancient Tomb, that puts us down to 2, though. Oh, I can Narset and try to find a blue card for Force of Negation. Oh, but this is only if it's not your turn. Okay. Okay, so that didn't change anything. Okay. If I go 5, 6, I have 3 artifacts here, so close. If I Ancient Tomb, I go Ancient Tomb, go down to 2, play Talisman, Demonic Tutor for Flash, Flash and Triplicate Titan. That means I'm playing a Talisman, and 3 artifacts come into play. So that's 4 artifacts total. My construct becomes a 9/9, and the Urza gets in there. All right, let's try it. Oh, and I can Force of Negation, right. Woo! Woo! Oh, man. Okay. I'm sorry, folks. My brain doesn't quite operate as quickly as LSV's, but few people do. But we still saw the line. It just took a little bit of time. That was a sweet game. I'm shaking. I'm like shaking. So they're playing an aggressive strategy, and that seems to be kind of our weakness, but I can't see a way around it. So I do have a Talisman of Conviction, a Badlands that I can fetch for, so that's 2 red sources. And then I have... So no, if I bring in the Talisman and the Badlands, plus the fetch, that's 3 red sources, and I can play FTK. I probably should have done that, honestly, against the Lurrus deck. And then I have a Pentad Prism and a Relic, so I think that's worth... So let's bring in the Badlands. Let's take out a Swamp. Let's bring in the Talisman here. And the FTK. And then probably just take out... Force of Negation didn't seem especially good against them. And then I will take out... this is probably just wrong, but I'm just going to take out, oops, the Black-White Talisman. Okay, certainly a keeper. Ooh, the Mox. Well, this one could potentially be over quick, folks. Oh. You know, that's so awkward. I mean, they're so aggressive. Honestly, folks, I think, as sad as it is, I think the correct play is to play a turn 2 Baleful Strix, which our opponent's hand doesn't allow us to do. All right, well, we are no longer going to play a Baleful Strix. This is a great start. Great start here with the Landmox Vendor Elite Spellbinder, especially with our lack of interaction. If I knew you were going to Spellbinder me, I would have just played the library. Come on, Mac. Mac Smith, one of the endgame bosses in this Cube Discord, held in very high regard here. Oh. All right. FTK was nice. FTK was nice. Drawing our sideboard cards and having it work out? This is great. All right, so they're targeting Spellbook Vendor, and I think I really just want to minimize the damage I take, so I'm gonna go get the Badlands here with the Delta, and because we're at 11 already, man, this is rough. I mean, alternatively, I can just kill the Spellbinder. I don't know. It is putting. The thing is, can I deal with the Spellbinder? I do have the I do have the Baleful Strix I can play next turn, but the Flametongue Kavu immediately deals with the Spellbinder and then makes the Strix easy to cast. And if they don't have a removal spell, then it's better this way. Yeah, maybe I just kill the Flyer, honestly. Okay, well. Well, they're going to put one on the Bomat Courier. So, Demonic Tutor. We are looking for Demonic Tutor here, folks. Demonic Tutor for Triplicate Titan, and hope that's good enough. Otherwise, we're going to game 3. I wonder, do I just take out Force of Will too? Like, they're just playing random creatures. Ooh. That puts 2 2/2s in play. I think we're just dead. So 2 2/2s in play makes us not dead? Yeah, that's okay. Look, it's not the winning line, but it's a line. All right, we just flash in Grave Titan, make 2 2/2s. The problem is if we play Baleful Strix for 4 mana, we block the Bone Crusher Giant, which is the biggest creature, and then we just take 5 and die. So with this, I can get in front of the Bomat Courier and the Bone Crusher Giant, take 3, go down to 2, and then and then I die to Stomp from the Bone. Yeah, maybe I'm just dead. Maybe I'm just dead. Maybe I just forego like Force of Will and all that stuff, and I just go, look, I'm just going to go pure ramp and just play all the Talismans. Well, we'll just flash in Grave Titan. Not ideal. 1 mana short. Yeah, Force of Negation is terrible. Well, they do have a swords, but still. Okay. So yeah, I think I want to just lean, like, I could consider Daretti. Discard some stuff to find some cards, and then maybe find but I only have the Triplicate Titan. So I think I want the Talisman here. We just take out Force of Will, and we just try our best to just keep up with what they're doing by just ramping super hard. So we've got Counterspell, Upheaval. I think we drafted like a cool deck, but aggressive strategies can be rough, especially with Mac. He's got Chrome Mox and Mox Pearl, so he can just really punish fast starts. I mean, yeah, I just got to take 2 here. Like it's really important for this deck to just prevent any permanents from actually resolving. So I know, like, Mac knows I have a counter here, and I know I have a counter here, but I still have to do it, right? All right, let's try to find something. Armageddon! Wow! That's awesome. Dang. I mean, it was a 3 for 3, so it wasn't too bad. They're down a lot of resources. I hope they don't have Mana Tithe. But, all right, we got this jar, though. What is this? A 2/1? Yeah, whatever. All right. Here's a jar. I think they would have killed my relic if they had a way to kill artifacts, so. Okay, Bone Crusher Giant. All right. All right, I think it's jar time. Ooh, is it not jar time? Is it FTK time? Could wait. We'll have more mana next turn. Yeah, I like FTK. Yeah, because now we can tap the relic. We hit our land this turn, so I think it's going to be a more impressive jar next turn. Ooh, Twin Shot Sniper. Okay. Not much we can do there. Let's just put a charge counter here. And fire off this memory jar. Let's add blue, sure. All right. Hymn to Torok is completely useless. Gonti is interesting. I suppose I should have chosen black, but I can still do all the things, I think. So I can go Thran Dynamo, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Add black, black. See what you're doing here. Ooh, Othari. I'll take the Othari. Can't play it this turn. And then we just go Delta, go fetch. Oh, what am I doing? That was a mistake. I mean, it's not a big mistake, but I'm just going to fetch a swamp. Hymn to Torok doesn't do anything, obviously, so we're just going to pass. I don't want the Ancient Tomb anyways. All right. This should be good, though. Get lost. Okay. I am now lost. They could have a Swords. They do have a Mana Tithe in their deck. But we have a lot of mana now. All right. Let's add, not that it matters, white, 3, 4, Othari. Put the reveal card in your graveyard. No. Let's see. How do I want to go about this? Yeah, let's just... get her for as much as we can. Then play the Strix. All right. Things are looking fantastic here. I think we probably have this one, but we'll see, unless they have a Wrath. Woo! All right, 1-1, folks. Not embarrassing ourselves just yet. All right, final round. We have lots of mana. Updraft Elemental. I have had the opportunity to draft against him a few times. Loves them a cube. Plays a ton. But to be fair, everybody in this Discord plays a ton. I feel like I have a lot of catching up to do. I think prior to kind of starting all of this, I mean, I hadn't cubed in 5 or 6 years. So there are a lot of cards I had to read. There's even cards I have to read now to some extent. But I'm trying my best to get caught up to speed. And learning a lot from all these fantastic cubers. All right, lead with Swamp here in case we draw Black Source for him to Turok. If we don't, we'll probably just go ahead and run out the Talisman of Hierarchy. They did mulligan here. And then if I can string together a few lands, I have Pentad Prism and Dynamo, which could allow me to kind of ramp out a Memory Jar. Ooh, starting with Basic Mountain. Ooh, there's the Upheaval, though. Let's go with the Talisman here. And I think I just received notification that our team is likely dead. We got absolutely crushed, unfortunately. I think Luis and I might have the only wins. I think he went 2-1, and I'm currently 1-1. But let's see if our opponent wants to play it out. Because my hand is sweet. Kind of. Fire Ice? This might be a Fire Ice. Nope. Ooh, that's Mind Stone or just him to Turok. I think I'm just gonna blast off this him to Turok here. There was a Remand in the draft, so they could easily have it here. Oh, there was also a miscalculation. All right, so there was a miscalculation. It is what it is. I think they would have basically cast Miscalculation on anything. Ideally, I draw land next turn and I can just go land Dynamo Mindstone. Get me set up for a nice Upheaval. Now the question is, do I play Prism or Mindstone? I think it's Mindstone. Or if I just draw land, I don't have to worry about this. Just give me a nice untapped land. There we go. So we're just going to play Threaten Dynamo here. Hope this doesn't also get countered. Now we have Counterspell, and we took most of the counters that we saw. So again, from what we've seen, there was a Remand. Please don't Remand this. And then next turn, if the Dynamo Mindstone resolves, we're looking at 4, 5, 6. We're looking at 8 mana here. So that's pretty strong. The Upheaval lets us float 2, so it's not crazy. I mean, we can go Upheaval, Talisman, Land, Mindstone. Okay. Brazen Borrower plays. Very valid line. Looks like they're on some kind of a blue-red, maybe tempo-ish deck. But of course, I'm just going to run it back. And they're probably, and I don't want to play, the only awkward thing is here, I can't play the Prism. Like, I don't want to play a Prism for 1. So we're going to take some beats here from the Brazen Borrower. We do have a Force of Negation, but I don't want to exile the Upheaval. But I'm just going to probably just jam Jar next turn. It'd be nice if I had a blue source. Ooh, that changes things. That changes things. What do I DT for? Is it Force of Will? So I can potentially use Force of Negation by just playing Pentad Prism into Memory Jar. I think I'm going to do that. This allows me to hardcast Force of Negation if they do have a counter for my Memory Jar. Because my plan is not to fire this off this turn. I'm trying to figure out what I want to tutor for here. Is it just like an Urza maybe? That seems pretty strong. Now, if this gets countered, I think I'm okay with it. Unless it's a Mystic Confluence. All right. What is this? Burst Lightning. Okay. They're going face is the place, as they say. Well, hopefully this is an awesome Memory Jar. I mean, alternatively, I could I can just cast Upheaval. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, I think I'm gonna Jar. Okay. So that's a extremely underwhelming Jar. I can play Library. And then I can play... Interesting. I can draw a card, but I would have to sack the Mind Stone to do so. And I kind of value the Mind Stone for the mana. So, I mean, but why don't we play the top? I guess I shouldn't have played Library then. But, you know, it's nice when I have the Upheaval, though, I will say. And since we're not drawing the cards, let's top. Okay, we are not interested in Flash. Thoughtseize is interesting. Thoughtseize is definitely interesting. I really want to keep the Stern Scolding, but I can't. And then I guess I can just draw into the Coalition Relic here, just for more mana. And yeah, all right. It's not the best. Certainly not the best. But this gives us access to the absolute most amount of mana next turn so that we can set up an Upheaval and hopefully we don't get burned out. But this doesn't really look particularly good for us. All right, that's fine. So that's the remand, and they of course fired it off because why not? Mana leak. I think it is better than the Pentad Prism. No. Well, I do have a Force of Negation that I want to cast, but I want to be able to replay this Relic. Oh my gosh. All right, you got me. They found a lot of counter spells. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fire Blast, okay. All right, I think we're dead, folks. Yeah, I don't see a way around this. But we will certainly try. There was a flash, I believe. Because Upheaval doesn't do anything because they have this, unless I DT for an answer. So I think I'm just going to top activate and see if we can find something on top. And then if not, we'll try to find a DT for a way to kill the Brazen Borrower. Okay, so there is a flash. So that's a thing. Right, okay. So we draw off of this. The problem is we don't have an extra blue source, but that's fine, I guess. Yeah, I definitely should have played an island. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and... Whoa. Here we go. Let's play Demonic Tutor. Let's go ahead and get the Titan. And then let's just go ahead and play Basalt Monolith, because why not? All right. This is very dicey, I'm just gonna say. But it is our only line, I feel. Here we go. All right, lightning, okay. We are all in. Can't pay for it. No, they had something. Mind collapse. All right, they got me. Okay, so a deck with a gazillion counter spells. Not the best for us, for sure. But they do have a bunch of burn spells, so it does make me feel like they have some number of creatures to try to be aggressive. So that's important to keep note of. I wonder how... It's awkward because like Upheaval is still probably the most important way for me to try to win this matchup. FTK seems pretty good though, but I guess I can just try to counter everything. I guess I should have paid closer attention to what they were working with. The thing is, my deck doesn't really have enough cards in the sideboard to transform into something else. So, but the FTK could still be valid. I could bring in FTK and also the Shinobi and just go, hey, here's some extra creatures. I can ninjutsu the Shinobi in. Maybe you don't have a way to kill it. And then board out some of the big mana stuff. But I am spending 2 mana. Like, I'm spending 2 cards to make 2 3/3s. So it's not like I'm super far ahead on cards. Alrighty, let's go Baleful Strix. One of our only cheap creatures to play. Very happy to have it in this matchup. And there is the Triplicate Titan. Ooh, that is an Inti. It's a little bit better than Triplicate Titan. Well, I will definitely keep... the Baleful Strix. Daze would be really unfortunate, but I don't think I'm in too much of a position to play around it. I know they have a good amount of removal, but I still am going to kind of force them to use it. We are setting up nicely for just hard casting the Triplicate Titan, or maybe even running out the Upheaval. Our opponent does have a lot of cheap burn, and yeah, with the NT2, I definitely should bring in the Flame Tongue Kavu and go with that and trim this, trim some of the other stuff. Oh, that is savage. Holy cow. That is brutal. Okay. Wow. Okay. I can't play the Triplicate Titan anytime soon, and I don't think I'm going to need to Upheaval, so I'm going to do it this way. Ooh. That changes things. Makes me take a lot more damage, but I can play Basalt Monolith. That'll give me 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can play the Triplicate Titan next turn, so let's do that and hope for the best. And if they have an answer for that, well, it was a good run. All right, so Bashasper 2, this time they're probably going to discard something and make it bigger. Yeah, discard Robber of the Rich, turn it into a 3/3. They had so many counters, though. Yeah, they just have to have a counter. So, do I do something else? Do I go for something else? I can try to reset with Upheaval with Counterspell backup. Or I can just go for the Triplicate Titan. I can also... No, Demonic Tutoring for Urza doesn't do much because the NT is going to be a 4/4. So, yeah, this is really tough. They could also just bounce the Triplicate Titan. I wonder if it's correct to just Demonic Tutor for Flash and do it that way. The problem is my mana is really awkward. I think I have to do it this way so I can keep up Counterspell. So this way, this basically, this is conservative, but this allows me to play around one Counterspell. And what I can do with the Basalt Monolith and my lands is while they attack, flash in the Triplicate Titan, and then have Counterspell up as well. And hopefully that's good enough. So they have Arcane Denial. Oh, okay, that makes things more complicated. I think I just have to... I'm just going to Counterspell this. And, yeah. So the question now is, do I bother waiting? They had Miscalculation, which I can play around. They had Mana Leak. So because of Mana Leak, I want to just do it now. And also, I don't have to tap the Basalt Monolith this way. All right. It allowed us to resolve something. It's probably not good enough, though. So this is something to keep note in the future. Just like flashing in a Triplicate Titan often doesn't feel like it's good enough. Yep. Odawara, interesting, because they could have bounced one of my tokens. They must have another removal spell. Thundermaw Hellkite. Oh my. Okay, taps down my flyer too. Yep. This is a lethal attack. So I have to upheaval next turn. So I take 6, I go to 3? Oh, they didn't discard, okay. Wait, them not discarding means I can trade here. Okay. I can upheaval and go to 2. I mean, that's all I got. That's all I got. So let's attack first. All right, tap mana. I mean, this, to be honest, this Brazen Borrower still probably just kills us. But it's the best we got, given the circumstances, and we just hope. We do a lot of hoping in our games. Oh! Why, yes. That's probably worth tapping Basalt Monolith for. I mean, we're at 2 and they have a bunch of burn spells too, so. Like, I don't see how we beat... I don't see how we beat Brazen Borrower. So they have Inti. Oh no, the Inti died. Oh, I did make a mistake though. I did make a mistake. Just another one to add to the long list of mistakes, which is I could have untapped the Basalt Monolith. Don't have anything to play this turn. So I think I want to just attack. Or do I want to find something, actually? Yeah, maybe that's just better. No second blue. Okay, well, they had a haste creature. Don't think we were going to beat this Brazen Borrower eventually, but that is the game. So, unfortunate. We got totally crushed, but that's okay. Still had a lot of fun, and still kind of getting my bearings here, but we had a cool artifact deck, ran into a really sweet blue-red deck here, and going to concede here. That's game. But all in all, I think we had a decent artifact strategy, but we were really, really light on removal and interaction. And I think oftentimes when you're trying to draft these linear decks, you kind of take those things for granted. So I think moving forward, I should probably look to see if I can find a couple of extra ways to find interaction moving forward. Anywho, thank you all for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button if you do appreciate this content, because I do plan on posting videos every single day. So I will see you tomorrow.